had his share of youthful trouble, but still finished school and earned a college scholarship and moved to Atlanta. Tonight's story reached a fork in the road, told by James Rush. Well, hello, James Rush. How are you doing today?
I'm well. How about yourself, sir?
Simply fantastic, sir, and thank you for asking. Today we hear that you're going to tell us a little bit something about yourself or something that you care to share with our audience. So I'm going to just let you go on and have at it. How about that?
I am from Connecticut. It's a mid-sized town about an hour away from New York City. I grew up in the housing projects or North Square projects, and in my teenage years got in a lot of trouble, but at the same time, I was a good student in high school, went to college locally, and had a 4-year scholarship. So my life was in, going the right direction. However, the environment got to me, and I was just like typical Black young male falling into the traps of the environment of being in the projects and all of the crime. I wouldn't say gang related, but just street life. I got involved with a lot of stuff, and by the time I finished college, I decided that I no longer wanted to live like that in that environment, nor do the things that I was doing. So I upped and moved to Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, excuse me just a moment here. I know
hmm
that we're going to make this brief, but
hmm
what you were saying about the street life and growing up in them projects, I kind of understand what you're saying.
hmm
And it's very unique to understand that brothers can make it out of this situation.
Yes,
And
sir.
where did you go to school at?
Take Post University. It was a merger of a Japanese university and American university.
Wow.
When I got when I got my scholarship, I had funny thing, I had an opportunity to study abroad in Japan, but was so nervous. I was just so used to my hood. So I stayed home, stayed in the neighborhood, and went to school locally. When I graduated, I said, I just wanted to use the degree and get out of that whole environment. So I had a cousin who lived in Atlanta, went down for the summer, and just enjoyed it so much. I decided I wanted to just stay there and make a life out of it. And
James, wait a minute.
hmm
Just wait one little minute. I just got to ask you one thing.
okay.
What is it that you really found enjoyable about Atlanta?
Well, being from Connecticut, like I said, about an hour away from New York City, I love the big city aspect of Atlanta, but
Uh-huh.
the thing that Atlanta had different, it was different neighborhoods that were all Black and still not ghetto, not
Okay.
projects. So it was like I just saw a lot of Black people doing good things and business and professional, and it was just a beautiful thing that just struck me as odd. But the way I grew up, I never saw that many successful Black people that were living good. So I said, you know what, maybe I could make it here. So I was young then, and I was getting my start. So I eventually got a job, and a couple of my buddies that I grew up with, same projects in Connecticut. We were down there together. It was three of us, and we had an apartment together. But the place that the section of Atlanta we lived in kind of resembled back home. The same environment, and one thing led to another, and we all found ourselves in the same type of lifestyle down here.
Okay, hold
So.
on. I don't want to
Mhm.
get personal. We don't have to.
All right. All
But
right.
when you say, my brother, we
Mhm.
found the same kind of lifestyle or whatever, do you mind just elaborating just a little bit on what
Yeah,
lifestyle you all from Connecticut found, please?
all right. Basically, it was a street lifestyle,
Okay.
hustling, hustling and partying and just
Okay.
doing, not being focused. And
Okay.
so got into a little trouble, and it just dawned on me I could have stayed in Connecticut and did this kind of stuff and lived this way. And I just reflected on the reason that I moved to Atlanta, and it was to better myself, have better opportunities. So what I did is moved from that section of Atlanta into a more um, diverse population, clean environment. You know, I had a nice apartment on the north side of Atlanta, and it just changed my mindset. You know, I'm seeing diversity of people still. You know, the atmosphere was just productive. It was very professional, and I just got back on track with my professional life. It was a dark period of time for me because it was a fork in the road. I could have went back to the way I was living and probably would have ended up messed up. But at that time, I said, you know, I have a bachelor's degree. If I get arrested and have felony on my record, it doesn't matter. My life is over. You know, I came down here to do positive things and live in a positive environment and a positive lifestyle. And I wasn't doing what I, you know, sought out to do. So after a while, I just decided it's the environment. So just like back home, the environment in Atlanta, where I first moved when I got the apartment with my friends, was the same environment. I said, okay, I see these opportunities and I'm doing the same thing. So it
Mm,
has to be the environment.
yes.
What I decided to do was move into a different community that was diverse population. It was whites, blacks, Spanish, and it was just it was a beautiful thing. The atmosphere was more, I want to say, cleaner environment, and you know, you just everyone had a respect for each other, and it didn't have that criminal element to it back then. So I was able to get there and focus on the things that I truly came to Atlanta to do, and that was to develop myself as a young man and to get into a good profession. I've been a call center manager for 20 some odd years since then. And besides just the debt collections, I've done credit, financing, all kind of different aspects. But I was utilizing my my degree to get ahead professionally. About, I want to say 2008, I decided to pursue my master's degree. So I, you know, still getting educated and have the experience. And right now, I'm currently in the final phases of finishing my doctorate degree. So,
Hey, hey, whoa, 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 whoa,
yeah.
whoa. Wait a minute, Dr. James Rush.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I
It,
like
not
that.
just yet. I'm
Hey, hey,
about,
we're gonna speak it like it's here. On along your journey, did you ever get married? Did you ever run into the law? Or was it just you decided to move, or did something
didn't,
jar you?
I didn't get married, but I ran into the law and got arrested, and it could have been something big, but it wasn't as big. And I think that was the turning point because, like I said earlier, it wouldn't matter if I have this arrest record and all the education and the experience that go down drain with that, and my life options would be limited. So I went through. Luckily, you know, it didn't turn out too bad.
Too bad.
My
That's good.
Yeah, I had to do some community service and
Okay.
just got myself back on track. But it inspired me to do better, move out the environment that I was in, rededicate my life, and got back on track. And
Amen.
the interesting part about it is with with my doctorate, initially I was doing research to uh, how to develop programs to ensure that young kids that are at risk in the same environment that I came up from, how to manage that enthusiasm for what I think is just purely uh, entrepreneurship, how to mold them into doing things that the legal way and make a living that
Amen.
way instead of taking shortcuts. That was too complicated of a subject for my dissertation. So what I decided to do is just focus on the professional management aspect. And when I'm done with the dissertation and Dr. Rush, then I'll get back to what I think is a passion and a calling to create programs to impact youth in a way that I didn't have,
Yes.
to guide them away from that lifestyle and but still harness the enthusiasm for entrepreneurship, if that makes sense.
That made a lot of sense. So you're dedicating, you use some words that, how can I say? I just wanted to just touch it a little bit. You rededicated.
Mm-hmm.
You could have said, well, I started up or did this, but you said I rededicated. And that kind
Right.
of rings a bell in my brain. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And focused and how you want to help young people. And like I was telling you, I happen to personally be involved with a young person that I know for a fact that you help straighten them out and get them on track. And they're on track today because of you. And I just want to throw that in there. But
Okay.
but go ahead, my brother. So I don't mean to keep taking up all the time.
No, and that individual, I'm aware of who you're
Okay.
talking about,
Okay.
and that was in the management aspect as a manager in corporate America. So I ran into a lot of people that remind me of myself, young people. So I just naturally took on not just the role of manager, but there's scores of people that I hired just like me, kind of rough around the edges, but we're gonna get them professionally mentored. I typically go above and beyond my call of duty as a manager of just managing employees. I try to mentor them into the ways of professionalism and then treat them holistically where they could manage their household and themselves and their affairs, not just the job itself. When I run into people who remind me of myself and the things that, you know, I instantly gravitate towards them and offer myself to, help mentor and guide them. So that's been a big part of my professional career. And I have scores of people who come back and say things like, thank you, the things that you taught me helped me not just in my professional life, but my personal life. And I think it's a fulfillment to me. For me, it
Amen.
feels like it feels like a testimony of using what I've been through to help people avoid those same type of mistakes. And it just feels like a calling to
I never met you.
me. Hmm.
Heard a lot about you. And I'm
Okay.
really glad that you took this time because I know in your life there's been a lot of situations. Some of them you can't or just don't want to talk about. And
Hmm.
then there's some things that could just really enlighten, like you said, give a little light to someone's life and where they're going in
Hmm.
this life when they're young and kind of off track and they
Hmm.
need they don't need like too much help, just show them the right way. I like the way you framed it about the fork in the road. See,
Hmm.
at that fork you can go this way or you can go that way.
Correct.
And I like the way you're saying how you take these people and mentor. And I'm glad I met you, James. I
I
really
am
am.
glad to meet you
I'm
as
glad
well.
I met you, and I've heard a lot about you. Well, I didn't
Yeah.
want to take up all your day, but if
All
there's
right.
anything else you wanted to drop a nugget in there, or if you
Well,
promise, or
I, I think in general, we are some of our decisions. You could decide to take shortcuts, but in life, there's really no shortcuts. In life, you got to go through the tough things and challenge yourself to, despite how hard life could get, try the best to stay on track and do the right thing. And eventually, it's like treading water. Those waves of bad times eventually push you back to land where you have solid footing. Life will get better, and all those tough times will stand as lessons how to better yourself, where you could make better decisions based off of past experiences that didn't go well. I just like to be that person to say, hey, I made those mistakes. Don't you do
that's what this show is about.
it.
Because
Hmm.
I've made we mistakes, and And I just wanted to be more positive about my life as well. And I know, James, just from talking to you, and I can say I know that you've been through a couple of things. And
Yes.
I just really like what you're sharing with us today. If there's
Yes.
any way to, any groups that you might have that people can contact or anything, or maybe when you feel a little more relaxed, you can come back and share a little more in a few
No,
months.
no, no doubt. And a big part of my story, I'm trying to keep under wraps because I want to get through this process of the dissertation. And then, I have on the back burner, not the back burner, but simultaneously while I'm going through the dissertation, I have a group that we're formulating a nonprofit to do some of the things like that I'm mentioning. And so when we're done with that, I definitely will be telling my story, and I definitely will be putting it out there to the public about this wonderful organization, a nonprofit that we're starting to help not only single parents but at-risk youth so that they can avoid the pitfalls and allow them, resources and tools to better themselves and not become part of the statistics that we know about. So
Well,
it's coming, and I'm thinking about writing a book as well. So,
well,
yeah.
we're gonna have something to talk about again.
All right, yes, sir.
And I'm glad that you shared this little bit. It's been very refreshing.
Hmm.
And to know that there are people out there that are concerned about you, that care
Hmm.
about you. A lot of
Hmm.
times young people get in a rut, they get depressed, they just get off their way. They could have came from a lot of the backgrounds that you're speaking of. And it's
Hmm.
good to know that there's men out there that care, men out there that's going to make a move, men out there that's going to do something. So I'm very thankful that you came in and had this word with us, Brother James.
All
Dr.
right, hey,
James in the future. We're gonna
yes,
speak
sir.
it like it's so.
Yes, sir, and I receive it.
Uh,
I receive
all
that.
right. Hey, my
All right,
brother, I want you to have a beautiful life.
and you do the same, my brother. For some reason, I think we're gonna talk in the future anyway. So
We gonna talk.
until we speak
Oh, we
again.
gonna talk, James.
All right, then.
Okay, my brother.
All
God
right, have
bless
a
you.
good day. God bless you.
Okay, later.
Thank you.
Well, another episode of Where Were You? And we would like to thank our guests for this evening. Also want to thank New Me. New Me helps sponsor Where Were You? So go on and check it out. New Me /Arkway. Also, go on and hit that like. Go on and hit subscribe. Go on and hit that share. Go on and leave a comment. And if you find anyone that has a story, let me know. And hey, you bless someone today.